Here's a little trade that myself and the members caught on the Euro US dollar from last week, and let's get right into this week's Forex Forecast. Starting the forecast off with the US dollar index. We talked last week about how the dollar was looking strong. We had very nice rallies to the upside, but we actually predicted in last week's weekly Forex Forecast video, if you go back and watch, that price would probably turn around at the supply zone. And I actually even predicted that we would break probably above the trend line and then drop because of this supply zone. As you can see on the screen now, that's a clip from last week's weekly Forex Forecast video. So why was I expecting price to turn around at this 4-hour area of supply? Well, it's very, very simple. If you look on the weekly chart with a top-down approach here, it may look sideways to you, and it kind of is, but since we recently broke this low, this to me is a weekly downtrend indicated by that downward arrow. We still have tons of profit margin down to 99.5 and even lower. So we had a weekly downtrend. Not only a weekly downtrend, we also had a pretty nice daily downtrend as well. And yes, we did see some strength. It was 1, 2, 3 green days in a row on the dollar. But I mean, overall, when you zoom out, the overall trend was down. That is why we expected to see the dollar fall. So what are we going to look for next here on the DXY to indicate where it's going? Well, we actually have a new 4-hour area of supply that was just formed up here at 101.59. I would really like to see this low removed down there. That would really indicate a strong trend again. At this time on this 4-hour chart, we do not have a 4-hour trend. We are basically going sideways. But since the daily and the weekly trend are down, we are expecting this trend to continue. What we could see take place first is maybe a rally up to this 4-hour base drop supply at 101.59 first, and then a fall to that to break the low here to continue that 4-hour downtrend. So that is a possible move. Overall, I am expecting the dollar to roll over, but the big question is, will it just roll over from here, or we push up to supply and then drop down first? Now look, I could be completely wrong. We could blast through both of these supply zones, and if we do that, that would be very significant in my opinion, because, well, not only because supply zones would be removed, but because if that happened, we would have a very clear peak, valley, and higher high, which would give us an H4 trend to the upside, which would indicate maybe the daily downward trend is going to change, right? So if we do break both of these supply zones, we have to pretty much hold off on US dollar shorts. But in the meantime, guys, as long as this supply zone is holding, even the one above, I'm going to be bearish the dollar. And like I said, the big question now is, will we just rally down from here, or will we push up to supply first and then rally down? Overall, I am expecting the dollar to continue to drop. I'm just giving you guys my perspective and the couple of options we could see take place before I do expect the daily downward trend and the weekly downward trend to continue lower. On to the forecast for the Euro USD top-down approach here. Beautiful weekly trend to the upside. We have higher highs, peaks, and valleys being formed. Looks like it was a little bit of a fake out to the upside, but that fake out could be over. And why I think it might be over as well, remember, we have a daily trend as well. To me, it looks like we're kind of bottoming out here. Maybe going to get that next leg up. Even if we do get a pullback, I welcome it on the daily chart down to 1.09. It would be a decent little pullback entry. And we actually caught a beautiful 4-hour demand zone trade from down here. This was called out in the daily market breakdown video. Well over 3-to-1 was hit. And these are the daily market breakdown videos that I release throughout the week. If you guys want access to these videos, as well as video lessons, Sunday Zoom sessions, Sunday live stream forecasts, and private Discord group, check it out. Links in the description down below to join the Diamond membership. We get access to everything listed on the screen right now. We also have lifetime access available for all the members who don't want to pay the monthly fees. So we're happy to see all serious traders join the team. So we did move from demand to supply. Peaked above it. I don't call that removed. In my opinion, this 4-hour supply is being respected. This looks like kind of just a news-based move. Kind of just I don't know. It just doesn't seem legitimate to me. So I am expecting price to continue to go up and break this proven area of supply. And if it does, any 4-hour demand zone there, we could look for longs off of that. So again, if we push up, maybe hesitate here, blast through the zone. If we have a 4-hour demand zone there, I will have that on my chart link that the members get, and we will be talking about it in the daily market breakdown video. And we will probably catch that trade as well, just like we caught the one down here. So that is a reason to become a member. So that is what I'm going to be looking for here on the Euro US dollar. If we get some sort of, clear 4-hour trend, okay, then we can start to add 15-minute and 5-minute time frame longs as well. But in the meantime, members, we are waiting. We're basically letting this trade work out. We're waiting to add by removing that 4-hour supply zone. But if you're day trading, I would kind of just be holding off at this point. If you want to get a little bit aggressive and you're feeling, I don't know, like I said, just feeling a little bit aggressive, there is kind of this support resistance trap area that's located right here. And there's a little 1-hour demand zone down below at 1.10. It removed a trend line, or it didn't really remove a trend line, but it did remove a 1-hour supply. So if you want to get aggressive, this would be our 1-hour demand zone long at 1.10. It's not great. I personally am probably just going to wait for that 4-hour supply to be removed because I'm more of a conservative trader. But honestly, this is a good little 1-hour demand zone down here. It's decent. Nice little rally-based rally, single candle basing, beautiful move. Again, kind of a support resistance trap. Definitely could see a move off that 1-hour zone. So if you don't have the patience to wait for the 4-hour supply and you think that the daily trend and the weekly trend is going to continue, which is a fine thought to have, this would be our little rally-based rally 1-hour demand zone that we could see a move off of here on the euro. But overall, guys, definitely bullish on the euro US dollar based on the weekly and the daily trends. Basically just got to be patient, wait for the 4-hour supply to be removed, or wait for the 1-hour demand zone to be hit. And if we break the 4-hour demand zone, let's say if I'm wrong, let's say we get a move like this, we break this 4-hour demand zone, at that point we'll have a 4-hour downtrend, and then we could look to day trade short the euro, but until then we have to pretty much remain bullish. On to the forecast for gold. Just a reminder, beautiful weekly trend to the upside, really welcoming a massive pullback down to below 2250 again. Are we going to get that? Who knows? Extremely difficult to tell at this point, but just overall bullish, right? Even on the daily chart, beautiful daily trend. Still have technically a fresh demand zone down below at 2470. If we do get a pullback, I still like looking for longs in that area on gold. On to the 4-hour chart here. We have this 4-hour supply that's been respected once, twice, 3, 4 times now. Look how deep we've tested it though. We pretty much actually pierced above it, but I'm not going to call that removed just yet. So overall, if you just look, we're basically just kind of basing out here. If I change this color here, it might be a little bit more visible, but we're kind of just going sideways here. So it's really not the time to trade gold. Like as of right now, it's not the highest odds. You still can, and I'll talk about that in a second. But what I really would be waiting for is one of two things. Again, since the reason I showed you the higher time frame analysis is to show you the weekly trends. We want to be trading with those weekly and daily trends, which means we want to be looking for longs. Can you look for shorts? Sure, right? There's lots of money to be made to the short side. It's just a little bit more aggressive, and I like to trade just a little bit more conservatively, in my opinion. So as far as trading gold goes now, we have a couple options. So as far as the 4-hour chart goes, if we push up here, we break this supply and preferably the high as well. Any 4-hour demand zone there, I'll have in the charts for the members, and we can look for longs off of the zone that's formed there. That is one option. The second option would be to look for longs down at this 4-hour demand zone at 2464. You can see my rectangle box. It's also a support area trap. So it's definitely a good little 4-hour zone, rally-based rally, beautiful demand zone. And it's not only that, it's also inside of the overall daily zone that I pointed out earlier as well. So that would be our option, a pullback down to that 4-hour zone, a break of the 4-hour supply. The demand zone there could be looking for longs there. Those are really the two options that I'm seeing on the 4-hour chart. As far as the 1-hour chart, if you want to get aggressive, I pointed out this 1-hour zone as well in the daily market breakdown videos. We had a beautiful drop-based rally 1-hour demand zone that removed a trend line, and we are getting a move out of it right now. So if you think we're going to push up from here, you don't think we're going any lower, that's a fine thought to have. And what you could be doing is going on a 5-minute time frame as price is pulling out of this 1-hour zone on Monday, and we could be looking for longs on day trading time frames to potentially trade back up to 25.17. This is our most aggressive entry on the day trading time frame since there's no trend. Again, the more conservative route would be to wait for the 4-hour zone to be hit or for the 4-hour supply zone to be removed. But overall, definitely longs all the way since the trends are up. Hopefully all of these examples are clear. If it's not, don't hesitate to leave a comment and ask me down below, and I will get back to every single one of you in the comments down below. Last week, we ended up donating $85 to my local hospice charity, all thanks to you guys, because every dime that I get from these weekly Forex Forecast video ad revenue is donated to my local hospice. So continue to like, continue to share, and continue to subscribe if you are enjoying these videos. It's for a good cause. So again, thank you to everybody. As far as the USDJPY goes, you can clearly see on the weekly chart here, we recently broke the weekly trend to the upside. The big question is, will we be pulling up to the weekly supply? At this point, it really doesn't look like it at all. Not a lot to go off the weekly chart here, but clearly just a lot of downward momentum here and pressure. On the daily chart, we have not only demand zones being removed, we have supply zones being formed and respected, right? If you go back a couple weeks ago, we caught that beautiful daily supply zone trade. It's all on YouTube for you guys to go back and watch. So how do we go about trading the USDJPY right now? Well, we have a couple options. Again, since the weekly momentum and the daily momentum and trend are down, we certainly want to be favoring shorts. We're in a demand zone right now. It's a proven demand zone. But what I am noticing is this beautiful 4-hour downward trend. So as long as this downward trend line is holding and it's pretty far away, we could just be looking for day trading shorts on a 15-minute time frame. So let's say we get a nice pullback, we have a 15-minute trend to the upside, then all of a sudden, boom, we break the 15-minute trend. Any supply zone could be a good little supply zone short because it's with the overall trend. So don't get caught up, right? Let's say we get a nice strong move on the USDJPY. Don't get caught up by this move. Zoom out, look at the higher time frames, right? The trends are down, so we certainly want to be favoring shorts. So as long as that trend line is holding, shorts are fine on the 15-minute time frames. And let's say you don't like the day trade, that's okay. If we do get a pullback all the way up to this little drop supply at 144.79, it's a good little 1-hour supply zone that we certainly could see a move off of to the downside. So that is the 1-hour supply zone I'm seeing on the end. And yeah, you could be looking for 5-minute time frame shorts as well, but honestly, I much prefer the 15-minute supply zones and then the pullback up to the 1-hour supply to continue to trade shorts. So again, it's bearish all the way on the USDJPY. And yeah, again, if you guys are liking this video, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps me out and is good for a good cause. All right, guys. On to the forecast for the GBPUSD. Look at this beautiful weekly trend, and not only that, we have a picture perfect weekly area of demand there. So it's looking really, really good. And honestly, I welcome a weekly demand zone pullback. I think it would be absolutely fantastic. Beautiful zone, drop base rally. If this zone failed, I don't care. I would happily lose like 3% of my account on this zone at 1.28. It is definitely good. I welcome a pullback down to there. Looks like we could be getting a pullback down there. We're going to have to investigate on the lower time frame. So let's take a look what's taking place on the daily chart. Beautiful daily trend to the upside. Not really a lot of evidence to suggest we are pulling back so far, but it's a nice little daily trend. So in theory, we want to be looking for longs. But on the 4-hour chart, we are basically going sideways, right? We broke the upward trend. We are pretty much going sideways now. We failed, like we did break the supply zone that broke the upward trend line. So that's good, but we failed to make a new high. So honestly, it could be a sign we are getting a pullback. I'm not seeing any trading decisions here on the pound just yet on the 4-hour chart. If we break this low here, we will have a 4-hour downward trend, and then we could be looking for 15-minute time frame shorts. But until we break that low, I wouldn't be day trading this one at all right now, at least to the downside. So again, we want to see that low removed to then look for shorts on the day trading time frames. In the meantime, we do have a 1-hour zone that is in play right now. So we could be looking for longs off of this on a 5-minute time frame. So it's a 1-hour zone. It broke supply, broke a downward trend line. It's not bad. It is being respected right now. So 5-minute time frame longs on Monday morning could be good for looking for longs to even trade all the way back up to here and potentially get a nice massive swing trade off of it. So that is what I'd be looking for at this point. If we break this 1-hour zone, then it's probably safe to say we're probably going to break the low, and then we could start to look for shorts again. If we get that move like this, then okay, that'll basically be the first phase of evidence to suggest maybe on the weekly chart over here that we are getting that pullback, and then we could trade short down to that weekly zone. But in the meantime, guys, we have to kind of stick to a bullish bias until we can get that based on the trend. Just because there's a weekly zone and an overall weekly trend doesn't mean we're going to get a pullback. It is certainly possible, but we need to see evidence, which again would be that low removed on the 4-hour chart. But in the meantime, I definitely don't mind looking for potential day trading longs off that 1-hour demand zone there on the GBPUSD. On to the forecast for the USDCAD. And looking at the weekly chart, it might look like a sideways mess, and it really is. But on the daily chart, take a look at this, guys. We have a picture-perfect drop, base, drop, supply zone on the daily chart, and we are currently in it right now. So that's exciting. We definitely, in my opinion, should be favoring shorts, just kind of based off of that zone. The issue that I'm having with this, and it's really, really unfortunate, is it's going to be difficult to trade. So this 4-hour supply that's embedded inside, what you could be doing is you could be on a 15-minute chart. Even a 5-minute chart would be also fine, and be looking for shorts off of that supply zone, or just overall in that overall daily supply as well. So like we want to be looking for confirmation, but the trend line's all the way over here. The confirmation would look like that, and then it's so far away that we're kind of just chasing at that point. So it's just kind of unfortunate, right? I was really hoping we could see a good zone, right? So since we basically wanted to have a nice 1-hour demand zone here that we could see confirmation off of and get in short. I'm just not seeing that. So it's really unfortunate, but honestly, guys, I think looking for shorts is the best bet based on that daily supply. So yeah, there's really not much else to say. I'm not really seeing any good setups, which again, that's unfortunate. But if we do start to turn around on the day trading timeframes, I personally think looking for shorts is going to be the best move, again, based off of that overall daily supply. So it's shorts all the way here on the USDCAD. Alrighty, on to the forecast for the AUDUSD. What a pullback we are experiencing right now the last couple weeks. And where are we pulling back into? Well, we are clearly pulling back into this rally base, rally daily demand at 0.663. It's been on my chart since basically middle of August. So I welcome a pullback down to that daily zone, and I personally will be looking for longs off of that daily demand zone. So what does that mean? Well, we could expect to see price to continue to go lower to at least like 0.664. So honestly, looking for shorts right now is going to be completely fine, guys. I really don't mind the idea, of looking for shorts. So on the 1-hour chart, we have a beautiful 1-hour downtrend. So you could be looking for shorts at any time as long as this 1-hour downward trend line is holding on a 5-minute time frame. Now, remember, if we do hit the daily demand zone, at that point, any 5-minute time frame shorts or any shorts at all is going to become lower odds, guys. So remember that. The shorts are only higher odds if we do not hit the daily demand zone first. I cannot stress that enough. But honestly, shorts are fine. I really like what I'm seeing on this 4-hour chart as far as trend goes. Beautiful 4-hour downward trend. We do have some supply above at 0.67, pretty much a picture perfect downtrend. So honestly, shorts on a 15-minute time frame, as long as the trend line is holding, is good as well. But again, like I said, reminder, let's say the daily zone is right here. We hit the daily zone, and there's a nice 15-minute supply zone there. You could trade it, right? It's just lower odds because the daily zone became in control. So we want us for shorts, we prefer to see it quicker, sooner than later, before we hit the daily zone. But let's say we pull back up to this 4-hour supply, it is not bad for potential short at 0.674 as well. I don't like that it's around the trend line, but honestly, it's not bad. You could even be on day trading timeframes looking for shorts, which means if you don't feel comfortable with a short and a stop loss above, you could be looking for confirmation, which I have videos on my channel if you don't know what I'm talking about. So confirmation trades in there and day trading timeframes are good as well. So again, to kind of recap, shorts are fine as long as the trend lines are holding to trade down to this daily demand. So it's still a little bit of profit margin left. And at that point, then okay, we have to switch to long to potentially get a pullback entry to the long side. Again, I'm not a day trader, and I prefer to trade with the trend, so I personally won't be looking for shorts down to there. I'll be waiting for this daily zone to be hit, and then I'll be looking for longs, and then we'll go from there, right? That'll probably be in next week's forecast. So, but in the meantime, for this week, guys, I think it's shorts all the way on day trading timeframes until we can hit that daily zone there. On to the forecast for the USDCHF. Beautiful trends to the downside here on the daily chart. Just beautiful trends to the downside. Nothing else to really say about that. Beautiful 4-hour trends. Unfortunately, I don't see a lot of zones that are in play right now. But honestly, guys, as long as this downward trend line is holding on the 4-hour chart, the day trading shorts are going to be preferred. On this 1-hour time frame, we had a beautiful 1-hour supply zone short from this zone down to there. It's one I called out in the daily market breakdown video as well, I believe, and just a beautiful trade from that supply zone short. So as long as this downward trend line is holding on the 1-hour chart, 5-minute time frame shorts are good. So day trading shorts are really the best bet right now. If you look over here, we have a beautiful 1 hour zone that's currently being respected and still holding. So let's say we push down, we break this 1 hour zone, any 1 hour supply zone there, we could look for shorts like that, just like we did right here. So it's just unfortunate, right? Sometimes when I do these videos, there's not always going to be, you know, a setup at that time, but it certainly means we could kind of just be waiting for a supply zone short, and that's why I do the daily market breakdown videos throughout the week, because maybe on Wednesday we get a move, we break the zone, we create a 1 hour supply zone, and I'll call that zone out for the members. We can get a beautiful trade off of it again, just like we did up here. So in the meantime, not really seeing anything at this point. I like that we've respected the zone, which makes it, when it's removed, it makes it even higher odds. That's the move we are looking for next. But in the meantime, as long as the trend lines are holding, I personally think 15-minute and 5-minute time frame shorts are going to be good. So if you're a day trader and you want to look for shorts, you're in luck here on the USDCHF. Last but not least, we are on to crude oil. We're going to start on the daily chart. We are into daily demand, but look at how tested this daily demand zone is. It is not looking great, but honestly, we have a daily downtrend. I certainly want to be looking for shorts. Any pullback up to this base drop daily supply at 73.31 could be used for a potential swing trade short. So that is one option here if you're a swing trader. And again, daily trend is down. We definitely want to be trading short. Another positive sign is I don't see where we are pulling back into. Yes, there's weekly demand down below, but look at that. It's tested a lot as well. Could we react off of it? Sure. It's not the highest odds zone though, in my opinion. So it's really shorts all the way. On the 4 hour chart, we recently just removed this 4 hour area of demand, which has left us with this 4 hour area of supply. So if we do get a move up to this supply zone at 69.71, I think it's a great base drop supply zone to look for shorts. And again, if you don't feel comfortable just taking the short trades, we could be looking for a confirmation trade on a 15-minute time frame to the downside. That would also be fine, but it's also not bad for a potential swing trade off of that 4 hour supply. And if you want to be even more patient, a little bit above, we have a couple 1 hour supply zones. This one is inside of the daily supply at 73.96, but there is one just before. We could be looking for shorts off of any one of these 1 hour supply zones above. It is above the 1 hour trend line, but that's okay because we have a overall daily trend. So just because we break the 1 hour trend line doesn't mean we can't stop looking for shorts, right? Especially these two beautiful base drop 1 hour supply zones there for sure. And again, as long as this 1 hour trend line is being respected, you know, looking for 5-minute time frame shorts is definitely an option as well. So it's really shorts all the way. Pullbacks to supply zones on the 1 hour chart, on the 4 hour chart is fine. And even if we get a pullback all the way up to the daily supply as well, then we could look for shorts. When will I look for longs? Honestly, as a swing trader, I wouldn't look for longs until we can break out of this daily downward trend. And maybe there's a daily zone, then we could look for longs. But until that takes place, it is shorts all the way. I cannot stress that enough. Especially if you're a day trader, shorts are looking like the highest odds thing to be doing right now on crude oil. If you guys want to watch the full length forecast with all the other markets, make sure to subscribe to the channel membership to get access.